the legacy of this is not going to be health, it's going to be economic. And we're just about to see the scale of that. What they've done is destroy independent businesses and the independent employment with those businesses of vast numbers of people. Nothing even like what's coming. And look who's taken the brunt of it. Not the major corporations, not the Amazons who have benefited enormously from it, but small businesses, medium businesses. With the lockdown, basically smacked them round the head with a baseball bat by shutting them down. And now they're opening or giving the opportunity to open some of them, those that haven't gone out of business in the meantime. And what they're actually doing symbolically is, having hit them round the head with a baseball bat, they're now letting them bleed to death. Because the regulations, the impositions on business means they simply can't get the throughput because of all the social distancing and regulations. They can't get the throughput to make a profit and survive. And so they're going to be falling and falling and falling. And with every one that falls, more people are falling into the lower strata of the Hunger Games society. This is why the 1% people, they're talking about a universal guaranteed income. But they're not doing it out of altruism. They're doing it because part of the control system, because it will come with strings. You can get your meager guaranteed income only if you do what you're told. They are planning to transform human society from what we've known. And I was born in 1952. I remember the world. There was nothing like it even is now. Nothing like. They want to transform it into what you would think of now as a sci-fi movie, because the same people, the same cult that's behind all that's going on now, they are the same force that is in the midst of moving towards connecting AI to the human brain. Connect your brain to AI and you'll become superhuman. You'll become like the gods. No, you'll become subhuman, not superhuman. You'll become post-human. That's the idea. Once the AI is connected to your brain, AI will do more and more of human thinking until human thinking as we know it now is negligible and basically disappears. At that point, the human mind will be the AI mind. Up to this point, they've had to manipulate perception to dictate behavior. Their end game is to not even have to manipulate perception, but to become the perception via AI. And that's the point where you become the hive mind, where individuality is deleted. And that's where this is going, with the mask taking away individuality on the, what I call the totalitarian tiptoe to that end. And the whole transhumanism is to replace the human, so what we call human just becomes literally a computer terminal on an AI internet of this cult and the force that's behind the cult. Up to 2030, and I'm being very optimistic with 2030, where we are going to decide the future, because the idea is to introduce autonomous vehicles for everything. So you don't drive a vehicle anymore, it drives you. And the computer driving it will make sure that you can't go anywhere the system doesn't want you to go. So there's even more control. And anywhere you do go, the system will know absolutely everything about where you are. Every conversation in the car will be accessible, etc., etc. And of course, you can't have an autonomous car that runs with a petrol engine. So it has to be electric. The whole system has to be electric. So what they've done is they've introduced this other hoax called human-caused climate change, which allows them to centralize power and dictate from the center to save the world. You look at what the centralization of power because of the centralization of power because of the human-caused climate change, we must save the world, and the same force is behind both. And of course, the human-caused climate change is a massive woke agenda. And they've orchestrated that woke mentality to push it through Extinction Rebellion and all these things. But to save the planet, we must go to electric cars. It's nothing to do with save the planet. It's making that transition from the petrol engine to the electrical system, which becomes the autonomous vehicle. Those autonomous vehicles are coming down the line very fast, which is why I say this interim period of a drivable electric car is going to be quite short in their plans. And all over the country now, they are changing the nature of the motorway system, what you call the freeway system in America, and they're calling them smart motorways. And they're changing them in ways that are dangerous. And people can't, why are they doing that? It's so dangerous. They're changing the system of the road system of Britain for autonomous cars. That's why they're doing it, not for vehicles that we have now.
You know, I have children, 3 and 4-year-old boys, and, they've been kind of born into this trauma of this. And they go running around and, they get yelled at by adults because they're not wearing masks and they're not respecting social distance. And I just worry and wonder the world they're going to grow up in and the trauma they're going to feel over the next 6 months or a year or however long this goes on for, and what I can do as a parent and what they're trying to do with those kids.
You've picked on a fundamental aspect of what is happening. They want to marginalize and take out as many old people as possible because, I'm 68 now, and I have a radar and an experience to compare the current world with. So I can see, as most old people can, that what is happening is not the world they knew. They can see the change. But what tends to happen is when you're born into the world, you tend to accept the world you're born into as normal, understandably. And so this craziness that we are experiencing to young kids is all they know, and very fast becoming all they know. They want to divide the young from the old so that transfer of knowledge and experience is not made. And this is why, if you look at it, what I call the climate cult, the human-caused climate cult movement, it hates old people. It blames old people. Yeah, we're in this trouble because of them old people, right? Brexit. Oh, we're having Brexit because of them old people. The old people are being targeted. They're massively targeted in this hoax. And they want to drive young and old apart. And they want rid of the old, so only younger generations are with us because they are the ones that have been through this fierce, unceasing perceptual programming through the school and university system for about 2 or 3 generations now, and it just produced the woke mentality. So why do they target the young? And now why are they targeting the very young? Because they have a time scale, they have a script, they have a sequence of events. And when they want to complete this transformation in the way I've described to this completely unrecognizable sci-fi world, the young today will be in adulthood or entering adulthood. And so they need those kids today so perceptually programmed that they will submit to anything when the time comes to complete the end game.